What's up, guys? Hi, my name is Aaliyah, and today I will be taking over my brother's show. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make sourdough bread. So first we're going to start with making our levain, and we're going to use 55 grams of the sourdough starter, 55 grams of flour, and 55 grams of water. We use the grams because the linear weight and stuff like that would be different if we used cups and that kind of thing, because if you had flour and water, one would be heavier than the other. So first I'm going to start off with my water. I have my scale here, and so we zero it out to get the weight of this thing. We have to do 55 grams. Okay, so now that we have our water measured out, we're gonna zero it out so that we can measure out our starter. So I'm gonna slowly scoop this in so I can try to get it as perfect as I can. So you're just gonna wanna kind of stir it up a little bit, mix all that nice stuff together. Okay, and then next, we're going to add our white flour, because we like the white stuff for the bread, because we don't really like the wheat stuff. So I'm gonna zero it out again. Oops, I probably should pull the fork out. So I'm gonna zero it out, and we're gonna put the flour in. So we put this into a container, a cleaner container, so we can watch it grow, and then we have to wait for it to triple in size. Okay guys, so the levain has doubled, and now we have to work on the auto style. So we have our auto lips here. Here we have our 700 grams of bread flour, but you can switch it up with wheat flour as well as the bread flour, like mix them together, but we don't really like wheat flour, so we just did bread flour. And we have our 500 grams of water. And so we're just gonna pour it into the mixer, and I'm gonna put water first, but we're gonna pour it into the mixer and do it at level 1 speed. And you don't want to overmix it. Hi guys, so we are back. We have our levain. It has tripled in size now, and we have some salt as well. We have 15.5 grams of salt. So now we're gonna add this into our stuff. Okay, so now that we have our levain and our salt in, we are going to add a special ingredient. This special ingredient is going to feed our levain and everything inside of it, and it's going to make it nice and beautiful. Okay, so our special ingredient is honey. Okay, we're only gonna add a few drops, so don't add too much. So now we're gonna mix it for about 3 minutes. So I'm gonna put the top back on so we don't have stuff launch at us, you know, how you go. Then put the top back on. Okay, so now we are going to put the dough to be ready to be cooked tomorrow. So first we're gonna wanna spray down the counter, and I'm gonna wet my hands so that it doesn't stick to the counter or my hands. So just gonna mist the counter. Okay, I'm gonna soak my hands in the water. I'm gonna grab the dough and I'm gonna stick it onto the table, onto the counter. Wet hands are the trick, or else it sticks to you. You can constantly wet your hands too, or else it will stick, because your hands will dry. gonna put it on the counter. I'm gonna fold it over like this and just tuck it all together. Okay, now that we have it all folded together, we're going to divide it into 2 equal parts and then put them in their pans. So I'm going to try to divide this into 2 equal parts. Okay, so now we have some saran wrap. We're going to spray the saran wrap. We're going to wrap these with saran wrap and we're going to let them chill in another room at 75 degrees for about 45 minutes. So I'm gonna wrap these around, and after this I want to introduce you guys to one of my friends. Okay, so I'd like to introduce you guys to my little friend Gertrude McBertha the 5th. She's our starter, my precious little baby. She's already grown about 2 times her size. And she's closely about to reach her full potential. I'm very proud of her. We'll see you in about 45 minutes. Okay, so it's been 45 minutes, and now we're gonna do coil folds. With the coil folds, you also wanna wet your hands so that it doesn't stick to your hands, because it's really sticky. So with coil folds, what you do is you grab the middle part, like grab it from the middle, and you pull it up, and you're just gonna like let it fall down kinda, and you're gonna like zigzag it. You're gonna do this on all of the sides, like so. And we're gonna do this 5 times, and in between each time we're gonna do 45-minute intervals. Just gonna this. And I'm gonna do that to this one afterwards. Okay guys, so we're gonna put our bread in our batons, and so we're gonna put our bigger roll in this one, and we're gonna cover it in rice flour, because rice flour does not absorb into the bread dough. And so you wanna do it liberally, so if stuff falls onto the counter, then you already have it on the counter and stuff like that, so that you can use it for later. And so I'm just gonna do the oval one right now, and then I'm gonna go get my other one. Okay, you're gonna want to also make sure that you put tons of flour on the counter, because you don't want it to stick to the counter either. So I put some flour on the counter, and then when I grab it, I want to have flour on my hands too, so my hands don't get sticky. So I'm gonna put some flour on my hands. I'm gonna get our sourdough out. You're gonna lay it out, and you're gonna want to fold it from the bottom up, and then from the bottom up, and you're gonna tuck it like that, and you're gonna roll it. And then you pinch the sides to seal it all together. Make it look all pretty. Okay, so now that we have that one done, we are going to do our other one for this bigger bowl. So we're gonna wanna cover it a ton. Again, don't be weary about doing a ton, because you want a lot in here. Just gonna cover it like, cover. So I'm gonna cover it. Then we're gonna do this one a little bit differently, how we put it together. And you can put your extras on the counter. I did it last time. Put this other guy over here. And chiller. So now we're going to pull this out, and we're going to do the other type. And then you're going to want to put flour on your hands too, so you don't get it stuck to them. Put this over here. So now what you're going to do is you're going to pull it up, over. Just gonna tuck everything into the middle. And you're gonna flip it over. You're gonna start pulling it towards you. You use like the friction on the counter to pull it towards you. And this will make it nice and round and beautiful. Because who doesn't want their sourdough to be beautiful? Okay, so we're gonna put these into our batons now. And you don't want to put them with the ugly end up. Because we're gonna flip it over later. So it'll not look that beautiful, but that is okay because they will look beautiful soon. Okay, and then we're gonna let these sit. Let them chill out for a little bit, and then we're gonna cook them. So now that they're all in their bowls and they all have their ugly side up, we're gonna cover them and let them proof in the refrigerator overnight. So I'm gonna cover these a little bit. Okay, so our sourdough has been proofing in the refrigerator overnight, and our pans are heating up in the oven at 475 degrees. They've been heating up for the past hour, and now we're ready to prepare our dough for cooking. So we're gonna put out some parchment paper. And we're gonna cut the sides like this. I'm just gonna cut this one really quick. I'm gonna cut the sides, and so you can have handles so you can lift it up, you know, when you flip it over. And so I'm gonna open these up. I'm gonna do the front first. I'm gonna open these up. And you wanna flip it over. Like that. Then you want to dust off all of your flowers. Dust all of it off. And then you're gonna want to cut it with your razor. And so for this one, it's gonna make a nice little X. Gonna make like deep cuts, so it lets the moisture out. So I have the one X. I'm gonna do a cross right here. And then that's how we're gonna cut it. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here, except I'm gonna do lines sideways. Okay, so now we're gonna do our oval one. So we're gonna lift this buddy over, like that. And this one has a lot of lines in it. It looks very nice with the lines. So I'm gonna dust it off. I wanna make sure you really dust it off because you don't want the flour to be like super hard and stuff. It's just not the best. So dust it off a lot. And now that I have dusted off, this one I'm gonna do diagonal lines, or I do it like this. I'm gonna do one like that. Do one right here. I'll make them deep. The moisture gets through. So now we have both of our doughs done. So we pulled these out of the oven. They were at the oven at 475 degrees for like an hour, so you want to be careful because they'll be super hot. And so now you're going to want to grab your parchment paper. You want to place your bread into the container. You want to do the same thing over here too. Okay, so we put it in the oven for 20 minutes and let it cook. And then we took it out and took the lid off and then put it back in the oven and let it get nice and brown and yummy. Wait for the hardest part, which is we have to wait 2 hours for these things to cool. So here we have Gertrude Bertha the Fifth's creation. We hope to see more from her in the future as she continues to reach her full potential. See you guys later, guys. Bye.